If your virtual training offer is going to be a webinar or a virtual class, chances are very high that you will need a video conferencing platform to initiate your training. Let's hop on over to the screen and I'll show you what I mean. So this one is Zoom, and you can see here that you have so many options to manage your participants and get their feedback. You can have them mute, so many settings. Another thing that you can do that's really important is you can create breakout sessions. And you have a few options here for breakout sessions. And I think that this is pretty cool if you're doing any kind of group work. You can manually assign your learners to a breakout session. I'm going to delete that room and just keep one. Then we're going to open all the rooms. And you can broadcast a message to all the learners throughout every single breakout room. So please do assignment XYZ, broadcast. Maybe you can even join. So maybe I want to join one room. Joining the room, and now I'm in breakout room number 1. And what you can see here is you can change all of the options, or you can even close the room and return to the main session. Let's look at it one more time. This time I want to create 2 rooms with 1 to 2 participants per room. And I'm going to open all the rooms, and you can see that everyone has joined. Now I close all the rooms, and you can see that everyone is coming back. So next up we have Cisco WebEx. Most of us are using WebEx meetings. Here's a hot tip. If you're sharing content, make sure you hit optimize for motion and video. You can mute all participants upon entry. You got your recorder settings. But here's what's really cool. I'm going to show you how to do a poll. So you click here for polling. And then we're going to enter in multiple choice. And we're going to add a new question. So I'm typing in my question. What is my name? Then I'll add in my answer choices. So I have 4 answer choices. Then I will go to the options, and it will display the timer for the learners. It's set at 5 minutes now, but I don't need that. I'm going to set it to 30 seconds. Then I'm going to open the poll. And what you'll see is that down here, you'll see the remaining time and the time limit. It'll show you who has responded in terms of percentages. And then up here is what the learners will see in terms of the results. So now we'll move from WebEx meetings to WebEx training. And you can access this by going to ecae.webex.com, scroll down to WebEx training. So first things first, we are going to schedule a training. We're going to call it test session. We're going to make sure it's set at WebEx audio. I'm going to mute all attendees upon entry, and I'm going to remove that entry and exit beep that we usually hear. I'm going to set it as a single session class at this time and about duration of 1 hour. I'm going to require every attendee to register. I'm going to have a maximum registration of 300 people, but then I will set up a wait list. I'm going to let people cancel their registration a day in ahead. I can invite attendees. I can even invite presenters or co-presenters or panelists. I can look at the session options like chat, poll, video. And then we're going to look at the breakout session. So I'm going to enable pre-session assignment, and I want this to be automatic. And I can set the number of breakout sessions so that there are 4 groups, or I can set it to something like maybe 30 groups. Then the next thing I could do is I could even change my mind and set it to the amount of people I want in each group. So let's say I want 5 people in a group, or I'm doing think, pair, share, so maybe I want 2 people in a group. I can also send my learners an agenda, a description, some course material, and any tests in advance of starting the session. Pretty cool. I can save this as a template, or I can just simply start the session. I recommend you run it as a temporary application. You save it and open it. Your learners will have to do the same. And now we're in the main session. Everything looks good, so I'm going to click out of this. You have feedback options just like you did in Zoom. Yes and no, hands up. You have some emoticons. And this little button right here tells you how many people say yes, no, or whatever. This button, this exclamation point, gives you a level of attentiveness. So are they looking at the WebEx training screen or another browser? You can assign privileges. You can change people's roles to host or panelist. But now let's try and start a breakout session. So we're going to start a breakout session, and you'll see it here. What I've done is I've just joined one of the breakout rooms. So now I'm in the room. And your learners will have access to a whiteboard. They can even share applications. As the host, I can send a message to all chat participants, or I can end this breakout session, just this one. You can save the session files before you end. So now that I've ended this session, what's interesting is that if there were other rooms, they're not ended yet. So maybe I want to end all. So end all, and that's it. Now we have Microsoft Teams, and the workaround for Teams to do breakouts is to add a channel. So I'm going to call this group 1, and I'm going to have this option of accessible to everyone on the team, and I'm going to automatically show this channel in everyone's list. I'm adding the channel, and that's it for breakouts in Teams. So go ahead and check out the features of the different platforms, and I want you to decide if you're doing a virtual class or a webinar, what is the platform that is going to best suit your needs?